Shalom, all praises to the Most High. Now, as you can see here, I have 3 books, and they're all the same book. Tacitus, the histories, okay? And if you didn't already know, Tacitus is an historian. He lived in the time period of 70 AD, and he also wrote about that time period. And he's one of the most notable historians, like, along with Pliny the Younger and Josephus, okay? So I'm going to go into this first book right here. I'm going to go into book 5 of Tacitus, page 272. And let's look at this statement. It says, many assure us that the Jews are descended from those Ethiopians. That's interesting. It says, who were driven by fear and hatred to immigrate from their home country when Cephas was king. So that's interesting that it says that the Jews are descended from those Ethiopians. If if Tacitus thought that the Israelites descended from Ethiopians, then they must have looked alike, because of course they didn't descend from the Ethiopians. Those are 2 separate people. But if they look alike, because he thought they were descendants of Ethiopians, then they look alike. So if the Ethiopians are dark-skinned people, because obviously today, as you can see, the Ethiopians, they're a dark race, then the Israelites must be a dark-skinned people. Now let's go to Amos 9:7. Amos 9:7. And it says, are ye not as the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith Yahuwah? Have I not brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Caphtor, and the Syrians from Kir? So the Most High is comparing the Ethiopians to the Israelites, just like in Tacitus. Now let's go to page 273 of Tacitus, and let's look at a statement at the top of this. It says, among the Jews, all things are profane that we hold sacred. So he says that if the Jews think that something's profane, then the heathens are going to hold it sacred. Okay? It says, they avoid eating pork in memory of their tribulations. So the heathens thought that that was sacred. And the Israelites, they called that profane. They still fast frequently as an admission of the hunger they once endured so long. And to symbolize their hurried meal, the bread eaten by the Jews is unleavened bread. We are told that the 7th day was set aside for rest, because this marked the end of their toils. So they were keeping the Sabbath, 7th day rest. And it says they have introduced the practice of circumcision to show that they are different from others. So as you can see, the Israelites, they were keeping the laws that are in the Bible, like circumcision, not eating pork, keeping the Sabbath, and of course they ate unleavened bread and they fasted. So all those statements are in this book, which is the Penguin Classics one. But when you go to the Low Classical Library in the Oxford World Classics, it's pretty interesting, because when you go into the Oxford World Classics, it has the statements, but the words, it's worded differently, okay? So I want to go with this one. But when you go to the Low Classical Library, it doesn't have the statement about the Ethiopians, the Jews being descended from the Ethiopians, and a lot's been changed. So if you wanted to buy a Tacitus book, I would go with the Penguin Classics. Shalom.